No matter what you try, what if it might not be you? What if it might not be you, but a damaged gut lining, okay, that's letting the wrong stuff leak into your system? Did you ever know that? I mean, I don't necessarily have the visual in my brain of like my gut is leaking, and so it's leaking stuff into my system. Like that doesn't dawn on me that that's what's happening, but that's what's happening, people. Anyway, so okay, let's just make this super simple. What is leaky gut in like super plain English? Okay, we have all these terminologies, we just throw them around. We might not know. This is what it is. Here you go. Here is your scenario. Your gut lining is like a coffee filter. Okay, a paper coffee filter, meant to let only the good stuff through, the nutrients, keep the bad stuff out, the toxins, the bacteria, the undigested food. But when that filter gets damaged, like it's poked with holes, bigger and harmful things get into your bloodstream. No bueno, right? This sends your immune system into constant battle mode. Bam, bam. Man, that made me think of like, what was that game that you guys are all my age-ish, Battle Bots or whatever with the little robots, the plastic robots. Does anybody know what that is? So basically, bigger and harmful things are getting into your bloodstream. This sends your immune system into constant battle mode, causing inflammation. So this is where, like when we talk about inflammation, we start reverse engineering that a little bit. And I'm like, you guys, like when I run out of my turmeric, like life is not good. That's not a good thing. And because I can feel inflammation in my body that I don't, whatever, just I'm 60 and maybe I slept wrong or whatever. But when you have insulin resistance and your inflammation is high all the time, you're like trying to get control of that. Well, this is why you're inflamed. So we're taking it a step previous to the inflammation being there. So the filter gets damaged, poked with holes, harmful things are getting into your bloodstream, and that is causing inflammation like everywhere inside of your body. But this is how this happens when you're insulin resistant. And, we do a lot of lives where we talk about how do you know if you're insulin resistant? And every month that we do the 5-day insulin resistant reset challenge in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, we go through like, what does that look like? And what are those symptoms, et cetera. But when you know or suspect that you have insulin resistance, maybe because your belly is big, you're bloated, et cetera, the inflammation, it's because you have high insulin in your body. Insulin is a hormone. And when you have high insulin over a long period of time, it can't take care of the high sugars anymore. And so therefore you have high insulin and high sugar, and that leads to blood sugar, and that's leading to inflammation. Inflammation is wearing down your gut lining over time. It's just wearing it down, wearing it down, wearing it down. And insulin resistance is affecting your digestion. It lowers your stomach acid, and it slows your gut motility, setting the stage for gut imbalance and permeability. So therefore, your gut lining is just kind of a mess. And you are in a position now where you're like, you need to heal and seal your gut. You've got to get down that inflammation, and you need to heal it and seal it so that you can keep the nutrients being absorbed so that it fixes the connections in your body, the synapses, so to speak, fixes the connections in your body. So, it's kind of like wires that are not attached. It reattaches your wires is kind of the way that I see this in my brain, right? Real life scenarios, like things that you would maybe think of when you just know that your gut is off. Like everybody's a little different, there's no question, but maybe you eat something that seems relatively healthy for you, but you're instantly bloated or gassy. That could be like leaky gut. You used to tolerate dairy or grains, and we're kind of grain free, not kind of, we are. We're grain, sugar, and legume free in the group because you got to get your sugars down, blah, blah, blah. However, you used to tolerate dairy or grains, but now they cause issues. Okay, so this is something to consider. You wake up with a flat stomach, but by the end of the day, you look 6 months pregnant. Raise your hand if that is you. Is that you? Like you wake up and you're like, ooh, flat stomach. And at the end of the day, you feel like you're pregnant. You feel moody. These are all gut connections, you guys. It's all connected. Oh, we chase the symptoms so much and we don't get to the root cause of something. You feel moody, anxious, foggy, or inflamed in your joints without knowing why. So think about all of the different drugs that we take or over the counter things that we take to help those things. Like if you feel moody, sometimes it gets to the point where we're taking a script for that. If you're anxious, sometimes there's a script for that, right? That comes into our life. If we're super foggy all the time, I know I used adaptogenic herbs. What else would somebody use if they had foggy brain fog? I actually don't know because I used adaptogenic herbs. What would it be? Have you guys ever used something for brain fog before? I'm not really sure what that would be. Just going to be honest. But inflamed in your joints, and maybe you're taking a lot of ibuprofen. Okay, you're taking things that are not good for your system because now you've got all these things, but it could just, what if it's your gut? Like, I'm just saying, right? Your skin is reacting, acne, rashes, redness, and nothing seems to help. That's telling you your gut is an issue. This is what that's telling you. I used to have eczema, like I was in college, I had it on my eyelids up here. I then moved into like my arm had eczema all over it. My mom had eczema also. Nobody was talking about the gut. I mean, that's ridiculous. Nobody would be talking about the gut, when I was in my 30s, that wasn't a thing. So we drank as much coffee creamer as we wanted to, and we we ate as much Crisco as we wanted to, because come on, like, why wouldn't we, right? Or at the very end, you try to lose weight, but your body feels like it's like fighting you. You feel like you just can't move forward. And that's a little different than having a stall. And sometimes a stall is just a recalibration in your body. Just allow it. Don't be frustrated by that, because you're never, ever, 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 ever just going to have results that just go like this forever, losing weight, or results that always just only go like this and getting better. That's not realistic. Success doesn't look like that. Success looks like this. You go like this, and maybe you go like this, and maybe you go like this. And sometimes you do a little like this, but then you go back up again, and then maybe stabilize again. Do you understand? Like, it looks different than what we want in our head. So again, grace, core value. What do we have as a core value? No shame. No shame. You're just on your journey. But this is why I started this live by saying I get so excited about every single person who is taking advantage of the customer campaign. When you purchase 150 in 3 months in a row or more, you on that third month, you get $75 off. Because what that says to me is that you've given yourself permission to think beyond today. You've given yourself permission to have a healing and a sealing moment. You've given yourself permission to actually have a different Christmas or a different spring in 2026. And I've said this before, I'm fighting for you 5 years from now. Who are you 5 years from now? Close your eyes and ask yourself, okay, so how old will I be in 5 years? So I'm 60, I'll be 65 years old. So what I'm doing today is showing up. Obviously, it's showing up right away, but it's also showing up long term, because maybe that means that I'm staving off medical appointments and medicines, or maybe for you, it's getting off of medicines or stopping the prescription runs, right? Maybe you haven't been traveling and you want to travel. Well, 5 years ago, whatever I was doing, now I'm traveling 4 times this summer, and I can guarantee you I won't have one swollen ankle for 4 trips. But that wasn't me like 8 years ago. So I'm fighting for your future self. I want you to think about your future self when you give yourself permission to finally invest in what it is that you need for you. Do you need to travel to go see your grandbabies? Do you need to get down on the floor for your grandbabies? Do you want to look a certain way for a wedding that you're in? Maybe you're the mother of the bride. Maybe it's your grandchild. Maybe, who knows, whatever. You guys all have stuff coming up. I got stuff coming. We all do. Because we just life is lifing all the time, right? So you have to decide for yourself what it is. So I just get really excited about that. So what happens if you don't deal with this? What happens if you literally just are like, yeah, I'm kind of not in the mood. I mean, sometimes I actually get those messages, and that's okay. I mean, like, that's where you are. I don't not going to shame anybody for that. That was me literally for almost my entire life. Yeah, pretty much not going to do that. Why do you think I started to supplement? Because I just didn't want to, I didn't want to trade out my foods. So sometimes I do get messages from you guys going, I'm just not willing. And I'm like, I understand. So I started with supplementation and then I started to change out. That's why I tell you, literally, you can just stair step your way, one ingredient at a time, one recipe at a time. Pretty soon your pantry looks different, your fridge looks different. And then you get to the point where, just got this text today. I don't know if she's on. I haven't seen. Patty's on. Good morning, Patty. Am I not on the screen on Facebook? Good morning. I think that like I'm black. My screen is black. Okay, can you see me now? Well, did it go black for a minute? Good morning, Claudette. Good to see you. So Patty texted me this morning. That's really funny. I don't know why that was black. I apologize. That's very bizarre. It popped off. You guys are like, where did you go? I don't know. It was for me. Maybe it wasn't for you. So I get this text this morning basically saying, I'm so proud of myself because, even though it's not going as fast as I want it to, and listen to this because I really honestly, I'm so proud of you, Patty, because I know you want it to go faster because we hear all these stories, right? Everybody's on a GLP-1 and they're dropping, weight like crazy. But walking a healing journey looks a little different. Okay. So I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. I know exactly what a healing journey looks like. I'm not confused. But we have to compare ourselves to ourselves, not to somebody else. Anyway, she's lost 20 pounds since February. And she's like, I'd like it to go faster. However, I'm really proud of myself because this is where you can get to. She said, I went on vacation and I still lost a couple pounds. And I'm going to tell you, that is monumental. When you get to the point where you realize, and see, nobody taught me this, you guys. I just experienced it. And then I'd go, oh my gosh, look at that. And then I'd kind of make a notation of that in my brain. And then now it's like what I teach you guys. But you know what? This Christmas coming up, I know it seems like a long time away, but and I know it's not far away. This Christmas might not be 100% perfection, right? Why would we expect that? But that's kind of what we do in our brain, right? We go 100% perfection. Oh man, I failed. But do you know that it took me 3 to 4 Christmases before I kind of nailed how to do it for myself? Before I put a few things into place and I went, oh, I'm going to find one recipe that I really love that I can just take to everybody. That way I always have one thing to eat. Or if somebody comes over to my house, there are just little things that I did that I implemented. And I got better and better over time. Well, that's what can happen with you too. It's over time. You give yourself that permission. So anyway, I'm super, super proud of you. You can see me. Yes, for a minute. Okay. I'm so glad I didn't disappear completely. I don't know. Who knows? It's Monday. It's Monday. What do you want? What do you want? Okay. So if you don't deal with this, if you don't give yourself that permission, chronic inflammation. Okay. And remember, we're talking about how insulin resistance leads to leaky gut. Leaky gut is when your filter, like a coffee filter, gets holes poked inside of it. And now stuff is it's launching into your bloodstream. That's not supposed to be there. The filter was supposed to collect, the gut lining was supposed to keep it in, and it didn't. And so all of these holes get poked in it, and now stuff is going through, it's getting through. And now you have this inflammation just rising in your body. Okay, it's just rising in your body. All right. So chronic inflammation, autoimmune triggers, right? So we have to think about that. Nutrient deficiencies, even with a healthy diet. Even with a healthy diet, because it's going through the filter, it's getting through. Hormone imbalances, you guys, insulin is a hormone. It's turning all your other hormones upside down. Poor detox, your liver gets overwhelmed. This is why every single piece of everything I talk to you guys about, it's all connected. There's never a disconnect. If you watch my content for any length of time, you'll notice a pattern. Everything I talk about is connected, and everything that I talk to you about as far as supplementation, it's all connected. There is no disconnect. That's why this is so streamlined and so simplistic in nature. Really, your biggest battle is like between your ears. The hardest part for you is to give yourself permission for a journey and to invest in yourself. I'm just telling you, that's the truest statement that there is. Okay, so autoimmune, nutrient deficiencies, hormone imbalances, poor detox, mood issues, anxiety, depression, and lack of motivation. Your gut. It's the gut-brain axis. Okay? And slower metabolism. That's where we go, golly gee. Like, is this just what it means to age? No, this is just what it looks like when our gut needs to be recalibrated. We need a gut reset protocol to take care of these things to help us. And, I remember being on an airplane. This was in the last year. And there was a documentary playing on gut stuff and whatever. And so I watched it. And they had taken fecal matter from different countries. And I think they did. I'm going to make it up, but I think I'm close. It was Tanzania. It was South America. I don't know if it was Argentina, maybe, don't know. But it was South America, it was Tanzania, and it was the United States. And they did these studies. And they've realized that over the course of the last 50 years, in the United States, we've literally killed off half of the different diverse bacteria in our systems. We've killed them off. And so, whereas maybe you would have this level of diversity of species in the gut in Tanzania, we are like this. Maybe it was like Tanzania, which is really kind of fun because the guy, Roger, who I got to see yesterday, he's from Tanzania, him and his wife. Anyway, it's just really been a fun connection now for many, many years. Tanzania, let's say it's South America, and then it's like the United States. Like, that's just where we are. So we have to just recognize this is a science-backed conversation. This isn't a guess. This isn't a fad. This isn't like, the latest conversation is gut health. No. This is the conversation. Because in 50 years, we've just done things through chemicals, glyphosate on all of our grain and seed oils and high processed, ultra processed foods, high levels of sugar in our body. We've just driven our car like a freaking rental car, driven our body like a rental car. Like, we've just like, and we get to this place where we're like, our gut is messed up. And yes, I have all of this inflammation and my metabolism is slowed down. And I look at food and my belly bloats and I look like I'm 6 months pregnant by the end of the day and all of these things. Well, that's because we haven't taken the time to recalibrate our gut. Does that make sense? So these are the things that you can do right away. You can begin healing by removing the irritants. We just talked about sugar and processed grains and seed oils. You can support your gut lining with targeted supplementation. I talk about that all the time. I'll show that to you here in just a second. You can add in a quality probiotic to rebalance the bacteria. Boy, if I just don't preach this enough, if you've been around me, I preach this a lot. Focus on protein-rich whole food meals to feed the healing in your body. That's a big conversation right now in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. We're doing 90 Days Summer of Fire, where we are really focusing on high protein before noon. I had 46 grams this morning of really good, clean, high protein. And I'll be full for hours. That's another day for another live. Get stress down. Recognize where your stress is coming in and try to mitigate it as best you can. If you need help with that, reach out to me and ask me about the duo, the ashwagandha and magnesium duo, if you need help with stress. Okay, but hold on. Stress alone can weaken your gut lining. So let's say you've been living a very stressful life for years and years and years. Your gut lining is like cheesecloth. And then you end up with autoimmune, inflammation, all of the things. Drink more water, get moving, and get sleep. Okay. So if this is like way too familiar to you, which it probably is for a lot of people, don't brush it off. Don't brush it off. Take that journey. And again, Recalibrating your gut, you don't do it by Saturday night. Okay. It takes a few pieces of your puzzle. If you just accept the reality that your body will take a few, like you can't fight the fact that if you have a highly computerized, brand new Cadillac Escalade and you go in and they say, well, this is a complicated answer. I don't have a Cadillac Escalade, but I'm just saying, like, if you do and the mechanic says to you, well, this is a very complex conversation because first we have to do this, and this. And then it's like this, and there's a motherboard and you don't argue with that. It's just reality. Well, your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. Stop requiring it to fix itself overnight. So it's a little bit of a journey. Just receive that is, and then be really, really, really super uber proud of yourself when you give yourself permission for the journey, like permission to journey without shame. Like that is literally the best gift that you can give to yourself, to your family, your children, your grandchildren, to your spouse that has to potentially take care of you when you're breaking down. You're giving them a gift by getting your body back up and on the right track again. And the track is moving and you're staying and you're not getting derailed all the time. It's the gift you're giving to literally everybody around you. My dad died at 63. My kids completely lost out on that. I mean, I could go on and on and on, and I won't, but about people around me and people that I've known and people like, if you do not take care of yourself, somebody else will take care of you. That's just the way that this goes. So anyway, so when I talk about supplementation, it's very specific. It's very targeted. It's very science-backed choices. These are pieces that I have sourced. Some of the pieces I started with a little over 10 years ago when I was 2X. I was 2X in size, and I started with 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This is the trio, but then they have added in other pieces. Now, along the way, I've always added in pieces of supplementation, but I'm not going to talk to you about a list like this because I feel like that would be too overwhelming to you. Do I think that you should also ask me about my vitamin D, my fish oil, for inflammation, my, turmeric and ashwagandha? Yes, I do. But when I'm talking to you about insulin resistance to insulin sensitive, you probably don't need to start with anything more than this. Or if you want to really launch more than the total body reset, which is what I'm just going to show you. And that is literally the gut primer. I just emptied this one this morning. It looks like a greens product, but it's not. See how empty that is? Wah. To open up another one, I've got more. Don't worry, I have more. But it looks like a greens product, but it has 6 different blends in it. And this is where, when you want to recalibrate your gut, this is literally a daily gastrointestinal primer. So, of course, I would never say, well, this will heal your gut. But if you're looking for a healing and a sealing, like this positions you for that extremely well. Let me just put it that way, maybe. So the trio are the 3 supplements that help with insulin sensitivity. I had to do this, you guys. I was 50 years old, almost 50, on the fast track to type 2. Now I'm 60 and I'm the only one who avoided type 2 in my immediate family. How did that happen? The trio and food ingredient trade outs that I teach in my group mainly. That's how simple. Now I had to do this. My heart with, connections to food. Took me longer than it should have. You guys crush my timeline constantly. You guys crush my timeline. I took 3 to 4 years. You guys do in 8 months what took me 3 to 4 years. Okay, I'll just keep moving. So this, and then add in the probiotic. What did it just say? You've got to replenish the good bacteria in your gut. You have to do that. And then the last piece is the fat burner. And every single thing is helping with insulin sensitivity. Every single piece. It's not like, oh, this is just a fun little candy tasting supplement. Yes, it is. Tastes like orange pixie stick. Oh, this is really cool. You're going to lose inches off of your bust and your waist and your hips. Yes, you are. I understand, like 90 days straight. Don't skip a day, 90 days straight, and then take 30 days off. It's targeting that visceral fat that's underneath. And you do lose inches and you do, oh my stars. It's StreamYard is being goofy. That was StreamYard. I get it. Like, we all want to lose the inches and I tried on a pair of capris yesterday, getting ready to go out to Denver. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these fit so much better than last summer. It's so fun to feel that. But what do you really want? You want to go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. What do you really want? You want your visceral fat to be addressed. What do you really want? You actually want your sugars to come down. So maybe you get to go and work with your provider and get off of a med. What do you really want? Maybe like somebody else that I have in my, like a client of mine, get off of an IBS drug, get off a cardiac drug, get off of an anti-anxiety drug, get off of, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not working with you one-on-one to drop meds. But I have the testimonies coming out of my ears. Because when you deal with the root cause, when you take your axe and you get to the root of the tree and you start chopping the trunk of the tree, which is insulin resistance, man, you gain ground. You take territory. Feels so good. So these three components, the trio, the gut reset protocol, the primer with the probiotic, and then the fat burner, this is called the total body reset. That's 3 pillars. Okay. You can start with one, you can mix and match, or you can do all 3. It's up to you. I do notice, I'll just be super honest, because of the 150, 150, 150 campaign, it's ongoing. It's not like it's going to go away anytime soon. So don't feel like there's this pressure, but there are a lot of people who are choosing. There are a lot of people who are choosing to do the total body reset so that on that 3rd month, they can get $75 off. So that might be you. Just make sure you're a registered customer. And if you have questions about that, ask me. But I hope that was helpful for you today to just understand the conversation about your gut and how important it is. All of these symptoms that you're feeling and all of this frustration, it can really like make it hard for us to keep moving forward, because maybe we've got bathroom issues. Maybe it's on one side of constipation or the other side of diarrhea. Maybe we have just a lot of bloating issues and nothing fits us, and we're going to go to a reunion. We're going to do all the whatever. And we're just tired of feeling like we look pregnant in our clothes, etc. Or maybe we don't have a gallbladder anymore and we're having a hard time. Everything we eat, we're just assessing. Or we just know that many people say to me, I can tell that nutrition, I can tell it's not getting in. Like I'm eating, like high quality foods, or I'm taking high quality supplementation and it's not getting in. And I can just feel it, because we kind of can assess our bodies. So anyway, always reach out to me. You can let me know if you need the total body reset in a cart. I will customize a cart for you. If you need to jump on the phone, I will do a phone consult with you. Messenger, on Facebook, Instagram, my inbox. There is an inbox on TikTok. We just have to move to a different place in order for me to send things. But other than that, we will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And hopefully I won't be coming in and out all the time. I don't know. It's just a Monday thing. And I use StreamYard to do like many platforms. And so maybe StreamYard is just having an issue. But if you need something, don't sabotage today, okay? And if you need to just get into the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, every single morning at 8 a.m. Central, there's a post that goes out just to give you mindset and what 3 little targets for the day. But maybe there's a little tip there on food and a little tip there on something that you can try or work with or whatever. And it's just 90 days, because we're going to inch our way through the summer. This is literally the success principle you need to know. If you haven't read the book, The Compound Effect, that's what this is. 1 day at a time, 1 recipe at a time, 1 ingredient at a time. Stop expecting yourself to go cold turkey on Monday. Like, that doesn't give you long-term success. I want you to learn how to fish. So, all right, I'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, you guys. Love you so much. And if you need anything, you know where to find me.